Today, we talk about Jumpman Jordan, cuh. Anyway. Alright, so as you can see from the box, Jordan 1. Why did I re-up on this motherfucker? Well, actually, wait a minute here. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, let's dive in. So check this out. Long story short, if you watched my previous video, which I'd like you to watch it, so please click right here. Once you're done with that, check it. So, you know, I was so mad when these re-released. These are the 2017 re-release of the original Air Jordan 1 model, one of the OG colorways, never worn in a single game, only seen on Jordan in a single poster, which is a pretty OD poster. But he was also seen playing these once on a cruise ship. Go figure. But in any event, my personal connection to this shoe is some bittersweetness to it. So, first and foremost, I remember when I've liked sneakers always, but I never considered myself a sneakerhead / sneaker enthusiast until a couple years ago, actually. And my first major purchase was at Flight Club, and I'll get into that major story at some other point. But long story short, my first ever sneaker purchase, in terms of a hyped sneaker acquirement,
gotcha, bitch,
was the Red Octobers. That was my holy grail, and that's the first one I went after. Go big or go home. Nah, I'm saying. But with that said, I was like, listen, if I'm gonna get this holy grail, I gotta get a pair of Jordans. You know, I'd never had a pair of Jordans. I had bought a pair of Spizikes, and I had Nike ID'd them years prior, but this was back when I literally knew nothing about sneakers other than the fact that I liked them. But I had no idea, you know, the extent of what the sneaker world entails. So I just went and Nike ID'd a pair of Spizikes, which I'll do a separate video on that at some point too. But in any event, I was like, all right, well, I need my first pair of like real Jordans. So the one I went after while I was at Flight Club was these bad boys, the 2001 release of the Air Jordan 1 in the Royal colorway. This was pair number 15,029 out of 27,000 total pairs. Know what I'm saying? But yeah, this, you know, I had to get the pair with the Nike Air, and I was really torn because the breads I knew I wanted, but you know, I remember, you know, before I knew anything about sneakers, I remember a buddy of mine, I wanted to say he had literally this pair, because this was early 2000s. We were still in college, or actually in high school, I think, at that time. And we were playing basketball at our local college. And, you know, one day he showed up in a pair of these. It was literally a pair of, you know, Royal Ones. And they were such a distinctive looking shoe, and I'd never seen anything like it before. And I didn't know anything about Jordans. So he's like, yo, these are the Jordans. And I didn't believe him at first. I was like, bitch, these ain't Jordans. First of all, they're blue, and Jordan played for the Bulls. So I couldn't believe that they made other colorways than what the players actually wore. I had no clue of this. This is early 2000s. So I was like, first of all, I see a Nike check on here, so it can't be a Jordan. Little did I know, am I right? Secondly, it's blue, so how could it possibly be a Jordan? And obviously I didn't pay it, and then when I saw the Wings logo, I literally thought it was like a fake pair that he had picked up, because he is known to be a world-class bullshitter, this buddy of mine, and I'll leave his name disclosed so that he can continue to finesse the world, because it's honestly an art form in my opinion. I think it's brilliant the way he pulls off the kind of bullshit he does, but that's a whole nother topic. In any event, because I've gained an honorary degree in bullshit after you know, listening to this guy and being around him almost my entire life, I just told him, like, listen, man, you're not gonna convince me. These aren't Jordans, but they look fucking dope. So, you know, let's ball. And he would ball in these. And I really want to say it was this 2001 pair, because when else, you know, before that, I think the first time it had released was 1994. And I highly doubt he had a pair of 94s. So he must have had this very pair, these 2001 pairs. Funny story though, I'm sure he got it at some clearance rack or at some garage sale for like 15 bucks. Because I'm pretty sure he bragged about how cheap they were too, and how comfortable and yet good looking they were. And I had to agree. I was like, damn, man, these are like nice looking shoes, let alone basketball shoes. But I'm not believing that they're Jordans. In any event, fast forward when I started getting into the sneaker game, and I just remembered that seeing him in these and learning more about what Jordans were, the actual models, Jordan 1 through 14, blah, 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 day, do, day. And eventually I decided, okay, well, what's going to be my first pair of Jordans? So I bought those Red Octobers, and I was like, you know what? I'm here. I've already dropped too much money. What's another $1,000? So this was literally $1,000 for the shoe. And I'm pretty sure he had spent like $15 at the time. And I bought this for $1,000. And at the time I was okay with that, because I was like, listen, this is an OD shoe. Royals, I can literally wear this with everything, just like everyone else says. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. Which, by the way, I feel like, can't you say that for every sneaker? Almost, right? Anyway.
I'm gonna fucking rip your face off, bitch.
In any event, so that was that, right? Now fast forward to 2017, barely 2 years later, if that, and kaboom, these re-released, the 2017 version. And I was super pissed because nowhere near $1,000 for these bad boys. And to be honest, if I had to choose between the two, I would have preferred the high top. You know, it's closer to the OG and comes with the extra blue laces, and it's cheaper. I mean, I have nothing else to say other than that. But the only thing I really didn't like about this, and along with the breads, which has its own story in itself, we'll save that one too. But the only thing I really didn't enjoy about this was just, and I mentioned this in that previous video where I unboxed these, just the level of tumble on this thing is insane. Like, I don't like that at all. I doubt that this is what they look like originally. But to add insult to injury, what I literally just noticed is if you look at the opposite pair, it's nowhere near as tumbled. Look at that.
Would you look at it? I was so mad.
Look at this. Nowhere near as tumbled. So I really don't know what happened there, but, you know, it is what it is. And, yeah, so, you know, I figured, you know what, I'm just going to pull the trigger. I got to have these because I know I'm going to wear these to the ground, so.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
I don't know. I did the same thing for the breads. I bought the 2016 breads, even though I had the 2013 release. Again, that's its own story. Just some other quick comparisons. I mean, the box is literally the same. You got the classic Jordan 1 box, which I love. The black and red just hit you with the bop. Word. The shoes itself, though, you know, comparing it to the 2016 release, you see it's got the mid cut. It's a little bit, you know, lower cut, which isn't bad, but honestly, I prefer the higher cut. And then it's more of like this, I want to say nylon, but it's obviously not nylon. Nubuck? I guess this would be Nubuck. It's a very different swoosh quality. I mean, you can see I've started to break it in a little bit. The, you know, the leather is nice and plush. And yeah, it just wears very well. You know, I can beat this into the ground knowing I have another pair on deck. So that's kind of deal.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, overall, I'm very pleased with the shoe. I've been very, very happy with the shoe. Great, great first impression shoe, because you can literally wear it to semi-formal events, chilling with the boys, and everything in between. So that's pretty much it. Not a lot of difference, but the major difference for me was the price. About 1/5 of the price to get these re-releases as opposed to these. So what you gonna do? But yeah, bottom line is I'm happy to have these. Very, very classic shoe. Ageless at this point. I mean, 30 years strong, and we're still buying these you know, Jordan 1 retros. So I don't think they're going anywhere. So glad to have them. And yeah, I really got nothing else to say on this right now. But let's keep it moving. We'll see you on the next one. We out.